Hello, my name is Patsy Baker Blackshear, and I am a member of Asbury United Methodist Church, and I'm also on the board of the Kunta Kinte-Alex Haley Foundation. And those two organizations are working together to capture the history of Asbury as told by people who have spent some time at Asbury, people like you, Ms. Marjorie. And so what we want to do is to make available for people as much as we can about the history of Asbury through stories that we share. And the stories will come from you. So, with that in mind, for the record, could you give us your name, your age, and your address?
Marguerite Parker, but they go by Marjorie.
Okay, okay.
Parker. And what else?
Your age?
93.
93. And your address?
26A Carver Street, 2141.
Okay, very good. Now, Ms. Parker, tell us something about Asbury by starting with when you first remember starting to go to this church. When were you first, your first experience at Asbury?
Well, I've been, I guess all my life, little teeny thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All my people, my father's people belongs up there.
Okay,
And Walter Hardesty was my uncle.
okay,
Jimmy was my grandfather.
okay.
And had a grandmother,
Jimmy Parker? Jimmy
Hardesty.
Hardesty, okay, okay.
Yeah,
All right, uh-huh. He was one of the ministers here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So keep going. So who else you were naming?
Oh, my grandfather and my uncle. Walter
Okay.
was my uncle.
Okay,
And Jim Hardesty was my grandfather.
okay, okay. So you have early experiences here at Asbury.
Yeah.
You attended Sunday school here?
Very seldom. I used to go down there on my ride church because I had a friend used to go down there.
Ah, you followed your friend?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were at Mount Moriah. And what services did you attend here?
Services?
What programs did you attend
Well, I
here?
used to be, I used to belong to the young adult choir,
Okay.
and there's another club, Reverend Hutchinson. Yeah, he was here. And different things they used to have up here.
Okay.
Like they used to have different kind of plays and things.
Okay.
And they had a woman's wedding up here.
Okay. A woman's wedding. All right.
Yeah, Annie Henry's mother, Cara Simpson,
Okay.
she was in charge of it.
Okay. And what was that like? What was a woman's wedding?
It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah, all the men dress up like women. It was fun.
That was fun, I bet.
Yeah.
Especially for the women to laugh at them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I was secretary at one time for the Women's Day. Long time.
Second Women's Day program.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you participated in choir, you participated in the Women's Day program. You did not go to Sunday school here, but you went to a lot of other programs.
Yeah, I
here.
went to my bride.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have theirs up here in the morning. That's why.
They would have their
Sunday school
okay.
in the morning down in Mountain Bride was in the evening. So
Okay.
I used to go. Well, they used to have Effort League up here.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Effort League.
Effort League?
Effort League.
Effort League.
Yeah, it's like a program. Have different ones of the members on taking part on the program. It used to be 6 o'clock on Sunday evening.
And it's called Effort?
EPWRT.
E-
Effort League.
Okay, Effort League. Okay, EPOWART. Effort League. LEA
L-E-A-G-U-E.
GUE.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was it about? It was for youth?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then they used to have the choir. Different ones on that used to be on
Okay.
the program.
Okay. Was it every Sunday or once a month or what?
Yeah, every Sunday 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh. A lot of young people would be here?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a place to be for young people?
Right.
Because all your friends were here? I understand that there used to be a lot of young activities for young people at this church.
Yeah. Well, there's, of course, Sunday school and the Asbury, and they used to have a farm on Friday evening.
A farm?
A farm called a farm. You know,
Mhm.
different churches to come participate in it. It was a program.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was this every Friday evening?
No, mostly they would get different churches come down and take a part in it.
Hmm.
Mr. What's the man named Edward News, Edward, what's his name? Notice was in charge of it.
Okay, okay. And different churches would participate.
Yeah.
When did that occur? Do you know what period of what years?
Well, I don't know in my younger days. I don't know what it.
You were a teenager?
Yeah.
And they called it a farm.
Used to have a Friday night forum, it was just like a program.
Like
you
a
know.
Friday night forum?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, okay. Like a program. Ah, interesting. So you then participated in this church. What about the rest of your siblings? Did they also participate at Asbury, since this was your family church?
No, that was my hardest. That was the family church.
Okay, all right. And so your brothers and sisters, were they here also?
I had no problem, sister.
Oh, you have no brothers and sisters. Okay, all right. But your grandfather, you said, was a minister here.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and Walter Hardesty, he was up there too.
Okay, okay. So who are some of the other ministers you remember? Who was the first minister you remember at this church?
Well, I was young when Reverend Perkins was up there.
Okay,
Then Reverend Love,
okay.
and cause I joined church at under Reverend Burry,
Okay.
and I joined when I came into church when they had a Women's Day up there.
All
And
right.
Reverend Burry was the pastor.
Okay.
Then I think he had number 11 class.
Oh my goodness.
He had number 11 class.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And other ministers you can remember?
Yeah, Reverend Holt, Reverend Young,
My goodness.
Reverend, of course I said Reverend Burger, Reverend, they all used to sit up in the pulpit.
Oh, okay. All of them? You had a
Yeah,
lot?
all of them used to sit up there and had something to say.
Okay. So you all had long services?
Well, yes.
You know, the old joke about put a lot of ministers on the pulpit, that's a long service.
Yeah, then had Miss Edith Gross, she used to be pastor.
Okay, all right.
What's the other woman's name? Miss,
She was a pastor?
No, they all was sitting up there with the pastor.
Oh, okay, okay.
And all of them had something to say. you
Okay,
know.
all right. And so you remember when Reverend Hutchins was here?
Yeah, Hutchins and Reverend Green and
Mhm.
Reverend, what's the other one's name?
Dupree?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I loved him.
Okay, okay. So do you remember when the church transferred from the old sanctuary to the new sanctuary?
Uh-huh.
You were active then? Tell me about your memories around that.
Well, I come in the front door here,
Mm-hmm.
and they had on the right-hand side, it was what had steps come up,
Okay.
and they have an office on there
Mhm.
on the right-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
and a water speaker,
Mm-hmm.
on the left-hand side, I think the ushers changed, not ushers, they are, choir changed the clothes.
Okay, all right.
And then in the way called Hutchins room now, well, that's where people used to sit at, you know.
Okay, all right.
And used to have camp meetings up there.
What are camp meetings?
Well, there's a whole lot of people that sings
Okay,
and testify and,
okay,
and jump up and down.
okay. Is it like a party? They feel spiritually
Yeah,
moved.
yeah, it was then.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was some life up there. I mean, when you come in Asbury, you know you was in Asbury.
Okay, all right. So it was a
Yeah.
spiritually filled church.
Yeah, right.
And the camp meetings were just every now and then, or in the
They
summer?
had it every September.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think it was September.
Mm-hmm.
The,
Church must have been full.
yeah, a lot of people from the country, you know, come up
Mm-hmm.
and serve food in the back there, the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That big old furnace on down back in there where the Reverend Hutchins, I mean, yeah, on that side.
Okay.
Where Mr. Chase, he was a janitor up here.
Okay.
He lived next door.
All right. So the his house was right next door, where this building is to our
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. Interesting. So you remember the camp meetings? You remember the programs that went through the day? What was the size of the congregation like? How many people were coming here?
Oh, I guess they had quite a few. I don't know how many, but they had quite a few.
I've heard people say they've had as many as 800 people here at this service.
Maybe so, I don't know.
Now, when you stop and think about your religious growth, who are some of the people at Asbury that help you grow spiritually? What names can come to mind?
What you mean by that?
People who influence you to help you hold to your religious
Oh.
faith.
Annie Henry.
Henry Henry, I've heard that name before.
Yeah, she played music a bit. and
Okay.
sang. Then the choir was, well, facing outside, not where it is now.
Okay, all right.
Annie Henry used to play. Reverend, not Reverend, he was not Reverend. What's the man's name? Professor Moore, he used to
Okay.
play.
Okay,
And he used to play pipe on.
okay.
Boy, that was a day.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And I used to belong to a lot of those things. I had to belong to some.
What do you mean had to? Why did you have to?
If I didn't, someone have
Oh, if you did something happen,
Yeah.
like a strap or something?
Yeah.
I understand. So you spent a lot of time at church,
Yeah,
and it was like a community center? A lot of things going on here?
yeah.
So you mentioned Professor Moore, you mentioned Ms. Henry. Anybody else that influenced you spiritually to help you grow spiritually?
Well, of course, my uncle and grandmother,
And what were their names?
they made me come to church.
Yeah, I understand that. My relatives made me come too. What was your uncle's name? Was he here in the church in
Yeah.
Asbury? His name was?
Walter,
Okay.
Walter Hardesty.
Okay.
And my
All right.
grandfather's name was they called him Jim.
Mhm.
Back then, the name was James.
Mhm.
And my grandmother was named Emma.
Mhm.
And I know a man named Dan Taylor. He used to pray, boy. You know you was in church.
Mhm.
And they'd jump up and down.
Mhm. Mhm. They don't do as much jump up and down now.
Oh, no, they didn't do nothing.
Well, tell me about how you got here. Were you living in the neighborhood and you walked to church, or what?
Yeah, I live right around the corner.
Okay.
Around at Logan Street.
Okay. All right.
I just live around there.
Okay. So that's how you got here. Now, over the years, there have been these changes in Asbury, and we had the old sanctuary, and then we got the new sanctuary. Do you remember when that occurred under Joshua Hutchins?
Yeah, I carry out, but I don't know the date or nothing. Whatever.
Okay, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was 1970 something, but do you remember what it was like in terms of how things changed as a result of that?
Oh yeah, a lot of change.
What kinds of changes did you see?
Well, when you come to Asbury, you just was in Asbury. You just had a good time with the Lord. That's how I figure.
Mm-hmm.
And then over on the corner, you call Amen Corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the communion stores used to sell at.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an aunt, that's great aunt. She was one of the communion stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Louis Brown was. And, they used to take the cloth and things, the white cloth. They'd take them home and do them up
Mm-hmm.
and bring them back on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday evening
Mm-hmm.
and have all setting up there. Oh, just a change. Big change.
Things have changed. Okay. So, Asbury is known as the Mother Church. Have you heard that term before? When they talk about Asbury, the Mother's Church?
Yeah, I think the church ran on Parole Street, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Asbury church, too.
Oh, really?
What is it?
Mount Olive?
No, Man Island African Methodist Church.
Okay.
That's on the Road Street, Asbury.
It came out of Asbury, you're saying?
They didn't come up, but I think through the same, jurisdiction. That's
Oh, okay.
yeah, baby
Okay.
church. I guess.
Okay, all right, baby church. Because Asbury was founded so long ago, 1803, that we're known as the Mother Church. But some people say we're known as a Mother Church because so many folks would come here because we were so large for a lot of the activities. You remember some of those things?
Well, that's what they had the usher do up there. Ushers. They have a bunch of them be ushers, and they march up there with their white dresses on and different things, They may not be walking straight, but they be up there.
They were walking crooked.
Some are going that way, some are going that way.
All right. But they were walking.
Yeah, they were walking.
All right. Okay. So a lot of things going on here at Asbury. Now, Asbury also used to be an African Methodist church before it became a United Methodist Church.
Yeah.
You know anything about those changes? Yeah, there was that change that took place, but you haven't seen any differences. Okay. Now, if you were asked to tell your uh, one or two things in your memory of Asbury that really sticks in your mind, what would it be? One or two things in your memory of Asbury that really sticks in your mind. What would it be?
Well, I said the preaching is different.
Okay.
And different like the communion store, all of that stuff is different, you know.
Mhm.
The choir, the ushers.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the ushers had these were white dresses,
Mhm.
and different hats, little blue, black hats.
Mhm.
I guess somebody died and put on a black hat.
But they had little blue black hats. Okay. All right. So those are different things, other memories that just stick in your mind about Asbury.
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. So if we fast forward, it's 100 years from now. So I won't be around 100 years from now.
No, me either.
So we both will be gone. We both will be gone.
Be gone.
We'll be gone. But people will want to know what Asbury was like. They will want to know what Asbury was like, not then, but in its earlier days. What would you want them to know?
I like them know I have a little spirit up there. That's what I like for them to
Okay,
know.
okay,
That you feel like you're in church.
okay. Mhm. You think Asbury in the earlier days was more of a Baptist church than,
Yeah.
Baptist church, you think had more spirit?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So you want them to know that. I have question I want to ask you is my last question, but before I do, any last thing you want to share with me that you can think of about Asbury?
Well, it's a religious place, but it's not religion like it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have the like hymnal books and things like that. They had a cabinet downstairs with all the books in it.
Mhm.
They pass them out
When you came into church?
when you came in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then the envelopes, that little envelopes, they didn't have a whole lot of money going there.
Mm-hmm.
And with Women's Day, this was different days, you know. Women, they were, like it's Women's Day. All the women sit downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and all the men was
You said-
upstairs, yeah.
Mhm.
Then you used to have envelopes, bag on.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But you do that now, they put you in jail.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. But that's all I guess I can remember.
You got a lot of your friends in school that came to church here at Asbury? Or in your
Ye-
neighborhood that came here?
Yeah. They split up, so it went Mammoth, Second Baptist, First Baptist.
Mhm. So first it was Asbury, and then these others
Yeah.
came out of it. That's another reason they call Asbury Mother's Church.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, here's my last question to you. And I say that, and then I hope I don't have another one. But here's, I think, my last question to you. Finish this sentence for me. Finish this statement for me. One thing I know for sure about Asbury is what? The one thing I know for sure about Asbury is
One thing I know about Asbury, then you have to put something at the end of it.
one thing you know for sure about Asbury is what?
Well, I was always welcome in the church.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So welcome in church.
Welcome to Asbury. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you so much, Miss Marjorie, for taking the time to share some of your memories about Asbury. We are blessed by that. We really appreciate it. It will be the kind of memory that I think will help people understand what Asbury has been like and is now. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Okay.